Hi y'all. Alright, so we're doing week 8 in the summer stock up. Hopefully the fans are not too loud for you since it's been warm in my house today. Hopefully Tuesday it will get fixed. That's the prayer. So this week for the stock up, I did bought the beef better than bouillon, and the chicken better than bouillon, and then for spices I just did onion and garlic. Hopefully next time I go, I plan on getting Italian seasoning, parsley, and there was something else I was going to get. I think garlic. And I want to remind, like, the whole point of this is to make our kitchens fully stocked so that no matter what kind of week or month or, I mean, I had a really bad year in 2021, no matter what happens, that we can still provide delicious, on-plan meals that are healthy for our family. And that's kind of like, I want my pantry, my freezer with cauliflower rice, pre-cooked rice, that being thrown into something is going to make life so easy. And then having these dinners or lunches, whatever you want to make it. So today we're going to do beef barbacoa, and it's such a simple, easy recipe. But I do love having things in my freezer because I do love throwing things in the crock pot. Tomorrow I've got a busy day, and when I finish this and put this up, sit down for a minute, I'm going to prep tomorrow's dinner so that I don't have to do it tomorrow, or I might do it. We'll see. But anyway, I do love having, especially for Monday, crock pot Monday makes my life super easy. So for barbacoa, I opened the beef bouillon, or red bouillon, and I've got 2 cups here, and each one gets a half a cup of beef broth and onion diced, and I did not make my onion. So I'm gonna have to add an onion either when I finish this video, but I probably will not. I'll probably add, get out of my freezer the seasoning blend that I have prepped and add a cup of seasoning blend to each of these. It's just so hot in here. And someone used the oven before I got home today. So anyway, so I'm gonna make this quick so I don't spend too much time in this kitchen sweating. Anyway, so half a cup of beef broth. I'm gonna try and mix it. This looks really odd to me. I guess it has fat in it that has floated to the top. It says a half a gram of fat per tablespoon. So I guess that seems right. I don't know. So half a cup in each one. The recipe also does call for lime and cilantro to be added at the end. I will add lime juice the day of, and no cilantro since my daughter has the gene mutation, or the gene whatever, that cilantro tastes like soap, so cilantro gets added individually now. 3 tablespoons of minced garlic. Use fresh, use bone broth, use whatever is most convenient for you and your family. It's very strong smelling today. Whew. Either that or my nose is just sensitive. I don't know, that just smells so strong. Hope I can make it till I go back. Okay. And then a tablespoon of salt. I'm going to do a half a tablespoon. I cannot remember, I should look this up, if salty things get more or less salty in the freezer. And again, you cannot take away salt. And I am not about to ruin these roasts that I got on sale. I don't care how much of a good sale it was still money. I think it was basically $5 a pound. I think each bag, I think it's about $12, I think is what I spent per bag for the roast. I typically eyeball, but I do like to be careful with the salt, just because, again, I've kind of done a couple of really salty things, and I don't want to over salt. Chili powder, a tablespoon. There's the chili powder. Okay. Pretty good. And then a a teaspoon of garlic and onion powders. Whoa, do not want the poor side. And these holes that on here are really, really big. And I've got a fan pointed at me. Hopefully it's not too loud, and hopefully it doesn't blow all the seasonings around. And now, garlic. The garlic holes are a lot smaller than the onion. So I have titled this like the summer stock up just because it's summer right now. But this is not something that is seasonal. This is, you can do this whenever you have time, money, whatever. Like I have done, I'm gonna do a teaspoon, no, 2 teaspoons of cumin. When my kids were little, this is what I did. And I did as cheap as possible. I can't tell you how many like lasagnas and sloppy joes, goulash, so many different recipes. I made cookie doughs, I made so many cinnamon rolls and rolls. Paprika. And I don't know if your Costco has smoked paprika. My Costco now just has organic paprika, and I like the smoked. I found this big jar, I say bigger container at Academy. Back in there, like the grill section. And if you like heat, add some hot stuff to this. Again, my daughter who has the cilantro thing, she cannot handle any heat at all. Like to her, mild is often hot. So I really have to watch anything that could be too hot. Plus for a teaspoon of pepper, be really, really, really careful with anything that's remotely hot. Like I've got some buffalo chicken from my last freezer prep that's still in my freezer because it's too hot for her. I think I'm just going to have to do some sort of meal prep for me and use that. And then 2 tablespoons of ACV, and that's it. I feel like there should have been Mexican oregano, but I guess not. Could be in one of my other recipes. About 2 tablespoons of ACV. And if you're not, like, if you're worried, definitely measure. Do not just eyeball some of these things. And if you've only watched this one video, make sure that you, when you thaw in a container, especially since there's liquid in this, because there's a hole. I say about half of mine with a tiny hole in them, and then if I just lay it in the fridge, then it all leaks out and it's gross. Okay, quick update on my bag saga that I've had going on. So I bought the ones from Sam's that were on sale. I got 4 boxes of 40 or 60, I can't remember. And those open and close perfectly, but some of these are still the old bags because I know for sure one of these, when I was putting them on here, it was torn. So I cannot seal these until I'm as sure as I'm going to be with getting the air out, because when I try to seal and then open and then do what I typically do, get the tiniest bit of air out and then that final squeeze, I tried it, and because the bags are just extra, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is. I've had to rebag. So I'm tired of throwing the bags away, but the ones I got in the Sam sale are much better. Okay, so you get as much air out as possible, and then that is it. If you do not ever have to make 4 of anything. If you find an excellent sale and you want to make 8 barbacoas, make 8. It's so much easier to make a multitude at once when you have all the ingredients out than it is to just make one of something. Another great idea that I love is, like, if I was doing this early in the day, then I would throw this in the crock pot, and this is what we would have for dinner, and then I would freeze the other 3. Okay, hopefully that's as much as air as. Okay, that's good. I'm going to put these away and be right back. I'm not putting them away, I'm just putting them behind me. And these, one of these for sure is one of the ones that comes out. So if you do get these bag holders, make sure you don't always just carry them with this, because at least 2 of mine come out right there. Now we'll seal these 2 off camera. Okay, so I've got a really, it's not funny, it's funny to me, the story on my brown sugar Dijon pork chops. So the title is like brown sugar Dijon pork chops, something like that. But the whole recipe and the title of the recipe at the bottom all are chicken thighs. Like I have no idea what I did, what I was thinking, and I cannot change the title of the post because everything else linked to that title is now a whole different link because the title has changed. So instead of changing it, I'm just now going to make 4 bags of pork chops and substitute in some of the pictures pork chops instead of just chicken. And I have another recipe on my blog for something kind of similar, but it uses a lot more ingredients. So this only uses a few, so I felt like this was a better option than a bunch of ingredients. Okay, so if you know me, one of my favorite sweeteners that is unplanned and sugar-free. Okay, I was reading, my friend said that there were carbs in some of these sweeteners, and I said no, there isn't. There's no calories, and it's 8 sugar alcohol, which is not actually counted as a carb. Okay, anyway, so we're going to use brown swerve, a 1/4 cup of this, a 1/4 cup of Dijon, a tablespoon of minced garlic, 3 tablespoons of bragg, and some salt and pepper, and that is it. The chicken thighs work perfectly, but I'm sure you are getting tired of chicken recipes since all that I have on sale around me is every week it's chicken of some sort, pork and of some sort, and then ground beef. That's all that's on sale. Thankfully, this week we had the roast on sale. And if you're doing this and not doing it like I am, like I say every week, dump the ingredients in the bag, squish the bag around, then add the meat. But then I would have to like wash my hands and go and come back, and so this just makes it easier. I am very thankful that this summer, right now, that our AC has decided that it doesn't like this at the moment, that it is a very mild Texas summer. I think we've had one day 100 or over, and this is so not typical, so I'll take it this year. Okay, a 1/4 cup of Dijon. I sure hope this comes out right. I've tried to shake it. I don't know if your mustard ever comes out with like water first. We'll see. Oh, it's already coming out. Okay. Oh, please last. Okay, I think I'll have enough. Maybe. Okay. I did replace this already in my grocery order. I'm trying to really stay on top of my pantry while I'm doing this series. And I told my friend, I said, I am definitely living what I am showing, because I feel like otherwise I'd just be a liar. I think if my pantry is bare and I'm not doing all of this stuff. Okay, a tablespoon of minced garlic. Where is this food? Oh, here it is. And again, if you don't like something, leave it out. Substitute if you like heat. Feel free to add some Tony's, some cayenne, sriracha, whatever you like for heat. And my poor husband, who loves hot things, hot food, like he just has that. We have like an array above our stove of a ton of different hot seasonings and things. 3 tablespoons of braggs, or use whatever you want The next time I go, I'm planning on getting the coconut aminos that Costco has. I just spent like $400 or $500. I don't know, it was a lot of money because we went to both on the same day. A little salt and pepper, and that's it. And these recipes, I just feel like are so easy, convenient, quick. Obviously, you do not have to do any prep. You can just make it the day of it. This, I promise, this just makes my life so much easier. And a little pepper, about a half a teaspoon of each. And anytime I use Bragg's, I really limit to either no salt or very little salt. Just because Bragg's soy sauce, aminos, can be salty. I even had somebody who made one of my recipes and she said they loved it, but it ended up being a little bit salty, so she's going to use reduced sodium soy sauce. That's it. So now I'm getting warm. And all of you who commented about your ACs that have had issues, and I think somebody showed their thermostat was at 89. I feel for you. To be hot inside your house, like I told my grandmother, I just don't know how they survived. And part of my life, we didn't have AC. When my high school, I feel like I'm not that old. Our high school, I don't know if all of our schools or our high school when I was growing up didn't have AC, and it had to be voted on to see if we would even get AC. Can you just imagine going to school with no AC in Texas in August? 1980 still gets talked about as one of the worst summers ever. I forget what it was, but it was so many, 117 and 16 days in a row. Anyway, I feel like I'm a baby now that our house is at 85 or 86, and I'm so hot. Bless you. So, I'm happy with these bags. I'm happy that they do not have the grippiness, maybe is the right word, I'm not sure, where you just cannot open them without them tearing. I'm so thankful these don't have that. If I can get this one, okay. So then, if you do it like I do now, you do it like I did. You just squish it around, and you can grill these, you can bake these, you can put this in your skillet, you can put this in your air fryer. You can put them in the crock pot, but that probably would not be my first choice. That would be like my last choice, just because I kind of want a nice piece of cooked meat over, like how the crock pot often, you shred the meat in the crock pot. Not always, but most of the time. Okay, so what I did is, I'm not about to put a straw in here and suck the air out. That I cannot, that just gives me, no. So I squished it out, sealed it up, then went all the way down, and then opened a corner edge, and then squeezed out the last bit of air, and then sealed it that way. That way, to me, it gets as much air out as possible without me having to put the straw in and sucking the rest of the air out. If you can do that, go for it. I don't know why that just gives me the icks. I don't know. Anyway, that is it. So we stocked up on broth, whatever broth you want. This is just my go-to. It lasts forever in the fridge, and they're the big jars from, I can't remember if I got this from Sam's or Costco, but it doesn't matter. And then these seasonings, I need to get a couple more seasonings when we go back, but limited budget. No, this is not for dinner. Limited budget with what I have to work with, and still buying things that we needed. So I hope that you are able to stock up on what you can and what is on sale. I also bought some more Rotel or diced tomato green chilies. They were on sale at one of my local grocery stores, and I've been using some of my stock. So I've got to make sure that I keep replenishing what I have stocked up, so that when it comes time to needing these for some of these meals, I have them. I did not realize how much green chilies and tomatoes, or tomatoes and green chilies, that we go through. I guess it's really just a big staple that I just kept been buying and buying, and not realizing that I'm using some every single week. One quick thing, and then I'll stop, because I would like to get all the lights back off. This last week, I forget what day it was, I was very busy got home right before my husband did. It was late. He wanted me to cut his hair, but I did not have time that day. So I pulled out one of the taco seasonings, taco seasoned ground beef that I did. I pulled out one of the generic ground beefs that I did. Cooked that in the skillet. I added a can of beans, and I had a little bit of leftover from the sweet potatoes that I had cooked, not the sweet potatoes, but the meat that I had cooked, through that in the skillet. And we had a sort of version of the Taco Tuesday in the skillet. I added a can of Rotel, and everybody ate it however they wanted. I had some on top of some lettuce, kind of like a taco salad. I used a couple of pieces of baked tostada on top for a crunch. So I've already didn't really want to already pull into my stock yet that I have in my freezer or my pantry. I really have wanted to wait, but I just needed something as fast as possible that day. It was just longer than planned, and it worked out perfect. So it made dinner was done super fast, super quick, with minutes. And seriously, all y'all had to do was like chop up anything that we wanted to put on top or make a bowl with, and it was that quick, and it was perfect. Everybody loved it. You could do that with quesadillas, tacos. I wanted to make the leftovers into enchiladas. Just roll them in low carb tortillas, top with a red sauce and some cheese. Perfect. So if you're looking for ideas for any of these things, definitely let me know, and I can give you some ideas. That wouldn't just end up being something I needed as like immediately, and since the meat is already cooked and they're packed flat, they thawed super quick. But that's it. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, feel free to comment below or message me. And again, if you have any ideas for anything to stock up with or recipes to freeze, I'm gonna do this, I think, maybe for the rest of August. I really do want to get my pantry and my freezer stocked as much as possible on a budget, without hopefully breaking the bank. Again, that's it. I hope you're having a much cooler day than we are. Bye.